This is a beautiful mother of pearl lacquerware, sort of Moroccan style tray. Quite beautiful, and it sold for $36.99. This is a vintage fold up hanger. The arms come down and then they expand. Just a weird little thing that we found, but it sold for 15 bucks. This is a cute little vintage Cruel needlepoint. It's got damage on the back, but it sold on sale for $17.50. This is a Sony PSP-100 charger, and it sold for $10.50. This is my very last East German rain pattern rucksack. It's lined in vinyl. It's got a vinyl pouch in there, and it sold for 25 bucks. It's a Dale Earnhardt Jr. hat, racing hat, NASCAR. And it sold for 25 bucks. This is a 1990s pop swatch, so the watch pops out and can be changed onto another band. This one is hand beaded. It is leather, made in France. Definitely real Swatch. I got a new battery for this, so I replaced the battery myself. And this sold for a best offer of $90. These are a pair of vintage style Nikes. They are made in China, so that's a good indication that they're not true vintage. But they're in pretty good shape. And they sold for 50 bucks. This is a Francois Jabot 3XL denim jacket. I had it up for 60 something, and I just kept getting all these low offers. Finally, I took an offer of 40, and I was happy with that. This is a pretty basic wool newsboy cap. I've had it for several years, and someone sent a message asking me about the size, like did it have a little bit of give, and it does, because it's got this kind of elastic band. And I sent an offer. It was up for $24. I sent an offer of $16.99, and I answered the question, and he bought it. So that's kind of a cool technique where you're like, I want to get rid of this thing. I'll take several dollars off, and someone wanted it. $16.99. This is a cheese making thermometer, and I keep an eye on stuff like this because I've actually made my own cheese before, so I know that this is a very essential part of making cheese. It says Wagner's Home Cheesery Thermometer, and this sold for $18.99. These are two pairs of Ranger pants, size 40, so they're quite large, and they sold together for $36.99. This is a big old vintage vinyl duffel bag, travel bag. It's vinyl and it has leather. This is leather. And it's sold to a prop company in Seattle for $60. This is a funky vintage military purse bag from Federal Laboratories in Salzburg, Pennsylvania. We got this at a military surplus, and it sold for $25. This is a vintage leather French military holster. I had this priced really, really high, like $200, because I thought it was something else more rare. And a million people wrote to me, that's not as rare as you think, blah, 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 blah. So I brought the price down to 40 bucks, and it sold. So you guys have seen me get brass rubbings and replicas of brass rubbings. This is a replica that they sell at, I'm assuming, museums or churches in England. This is a knight and a lady from the 1400s. So this is a replica probably from a church or a temple type dealy. And on the back, oh, it's really heavy. It is felt and this little symbol. So I'm assuming that means made in Britain. And the cool thing about this is you can hang it up. It's beautiful. And it was a great sale. I had it up for, I think, $125. And I got an offer of $110, and I said yes. So this sold for $110. This is a Simply Shabby Chic Target brand ruffled shower curtain that I've been trying to list on Amazon for a couple weeks now. but the UPC was not registering, and I was trying to do it as a new item with that UPC, but I figured out finally that I needed to put my own UPC in, and then that worked. So I listed it, and then it sold overnight for $40 on Amazon. This is a necklace that I made out of a brooch. It is a gold-toned kind of leaf brooch. I made a bunch of these, like 10 of them, just with different brooches, and they took a really long time to sell. I still have like 4 or 5 of them left, and this one sold on sale for $13. These are a pair of vintage 1989 leather combat boots, size 12 narrow, and they sold for $80. This is a Cabela's brand, gray, heather gray, flannel, super soft, like work shirt. You can see, Cabela's. And it sold for 25 bucks. This is a vintage corduroy jacket with 4 pockets. It is actually handmade. You can tell by the way the zipper was sewn on and some of the stitching on the inside. We've had it for a long time, and it sold on sale for $28. This is a Camelback hydration pack drying kit, cleaning and drying kit. So you have the scrubby, and then you have this thing that you can hang inside of the Camelback to dry it. It is broken in some sections, but it will still work. And it sold for 15 bucks. This is a vintage Eastern Airlines life preserver. Unused. I don't know where this came from. I think it came from an estate sale. Totally random. But it did sell for $36.99. This is the vintage new in the box sconce that sold. And you can see it's a very cool style. It's got this kind of frosted glass and like gold stamped metal. And it sold for $125. Nice sale. This is a vintage oak silverware chest. It's got cool hardware. It's probably from, we said it was from the 40s. It's got some damage, but what's cool is it's got this little drawer here also. And it sold for $36.99. This is a vintage steel metal LP record holder. It's beautiful, red and white. It's so awesome. We sold it for a best offer of $40. These are 2 coffee mugs that sold. This one's like 1980s NBC News. Probably a local affiliate from DC. Someone had this. I got it for free at my thrift store. Cool logo. This one I also got for free at my thrift store. It says, McDonald's, start the morning out bright with breakfast at McDonald's. And on the back it says, McDonald's of Alaska, 1983. Another cool thing about this mug is it's made in England. Kiln craft. So that's kind of a nice quality mug anyway. And this also sold for 25 bucks. So these were free. And that's a total of $50 right there. This is a set of 4 vintage Cruel needle points. They're cool because a lot of needle points I see are not on a dark background. So these are kind of nice. And they have metal silver frames that are very sturdy. And the set sold for a best offer of $85, which is great.